This new IG live. I know a lot of you guys probably been seeing the promos, and my special guest should be coming in very shortly. So we're just waiting till a lot of you guys, come in and everything, and we'll start everything up. Hey Issa, how you doing? And she is actually the special guest, Miss Isa Marina. So let's get. Hey Chris, how are you? We here. We about to get started. Hi.
Hey, Phil.
What's up?
I'm good. Let me situate this phone because I went through my whole setup, but I want to make sure
It's just the
it's
same here.
situated.
Yeah, you trying to situate everything or situate.
Yes.
While Issa and I are situating our stuff, this is our special guest, Miss Isa Marina. You guys probably know she's a singer, and she's an amazing songwriter, by the way. And I probably might remember her 3 years ago. She was made an appearance on TRL when they had revamped it at one point.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for having me tonight. I'm
And
excited.
I'm excited too because a lot of people were asking me about you. They were like, "Who is Issa Marina?" I'm like, "You guys will see when this interview happens." So you have the floor to introduce yourself to everybody who's starting to come in because I know they're gonna come in slowly. So we're gonna get it started.
Yes, so my name is Isa Marina. I'm a singer-songwriter from NYC. I sing in English and Spanglish and Spanish. And my latest single, Tidal Wave, is out right now. So you guys want to go get that on all streaming platforms. And I'm just excited to be here tonight.
I'm excited for you too. Now for those who are probably wondering, what is your nationality background? Because people are looking at you probably thinking, is she black? Is she Spanish? What is she?
I'm a lot of things, but my dad is Afro-Cuban and my mother is Dominican. So I'm an Afro-Latina.
So that way you guys will find out
Yes.
who she is. So that way she answered it.
Born and raised in the Bronx, New York.
Mm.
And I lived in the Dominican Republic actually while I was in high school. So, I come from a very super, especially after I did my ancestry DNA, I come from a very super mixed background, which, is to be expected being from the Caribbean.
Okay,
But, I'm very proud of who I am. And,
you should be.
we're,
You should be.
we're here. We're here.
Yeah.
As all of you guys should too.
Yeah. So if you guys have questions for Issa, go ahead and drop them questions down because I'm asking questions and you guys can ask her some questions. And you don't worry, Issa, you're in a safe place, so you don't have to worry about nobody trying to come for you or nothing. So you good.
Don't come for
Nobody gonna come for her. She know better.
me.
Hey, hi, how you doing? So, with everything going on, what made you what made Issa Marina? What made you want to go into music and all and songwriting?
Wow. So since I was very little, and I'll just give some background on like my family. My grandmother, Isaura Mendoza, she was a famed vocalist in Cuba and South America during the 1940s and 50s. And eventually she went into theater, novella. She was in a novella with
Hmm.
Aida. So she was in the entertainment business, and my dad grew up around that. So from a very young age, I just always loved to sing. Like I knew that's what I was gonna do. And I remember at 5 years old, like super young, like I used to tell everyone this is what I'm gonna do, and I already had it in my head. And I had like journals when I was 8 years old, and I would write that down. I'm gonna be a singer, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. Like it was like I came out the womb ready. And my dad even told me that when I was born, he said that I screamed like super loud like when I was born, but it was like in tune. And he was like,
Oh,
gonna be a singer. So like when he saw that that was something I was already interested in from when I was little, he would buy me karaoke machines. He would have me like do little performances and put on MTV and record it. Like he was he made sure he was super present, and my mother too. But because I was spending just a lot of time like around like both my parents, but my dad specifically, like he was very
mhm.
like here, 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 and my mother like they put me in vocal lessons when I was in high school and all of that good stuff. So I'm grateful that it was supported in my house. And then as far as songwriting, that actually happened really, I want to say a fourth or fifth grade. Um, I started listening to No Doubt a lot. One of my cousins actually lived with us at that time, and she was like in her end of high school college phase, so she was listening to at the time a lot of No Doubt, just kind of like all of that teen angst kind of music that's really dope, and that was super formative for like a whole generation of us.
Yes.
And so I remember just like diving so deep into the album and like, I want to write. So I told my dad if he could get me like a little guitar. So he got me like a real small guitar, and I just started writing. Like I still have like journals and things of like the songs I used to write back then. And I remember at that time I did a talent show and imagine like this girl singing like indie artist kind of song at the time with a guitar. And so they were like, what is that? But I sang the song I wrote. It's called Searching. I still remember the song. And with my little guitar, and I won the talent show. So after that, it was kind of like, now I don't play the guitar now. I'm not a dummy. Like I know my chords and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was at that point that I just kept writing. Like I would get melodies randomly in my sleep or just taking a shower, or just random moments, and I would just record them and write them down. And obviously not write them down, but write to those melodies, or if I had certain words. Even how I learned my times tables, I remember I used to make it into a song. So like I kind of always, those were just like little things that I would always do, and they always stayed with me. Yeah.
Interesting. That's very interesting, though. Because, when we look at you, I know everybody's like, oh, she's the pretty girl, she sings. But like you said, you just proved to everybody that you're a singer, songwriter. You have it all. And a lot of people don't know that you're independent, too, by the way.
Yes, I'm independent right now, and that has been a journey within itself because initially, it's funny, at one point when I was in high school at the Dominican Republic, when I was leaving high school, I was either one gonna go to Puerto Rico and sing reggaeton, which is so funny because people would be like, "What? I would have never expected that." But me and a few other friends, that's what we were gonna do. Sorry, my phone is like,
That's
okay,
okay.
here we go. But I was gonna sing reggaeton, but I didn't end up doing that. And I was studying opera in high school, so I was just like, "Well, I'll just do classical music and Broadway too." So I had applied to Juilliard. Mind you, this was the only school I applied to. Crazy because it's like you should have applied to other ones, but I was just at that age where you're in that dreamy stage of life and you're just like, I'm just gonna do this and that's I'm just gonna get it and that's it. Like there was no plan B, C, or nothing. So I ended up making it through the first audition, but I didn't get through the second, so I didn't get into Juilliard. But I came back to New York anyway. I started working. I ended up at Pace University, and then I still took voice lessons with a vocal coach that was based at Juilliard anyway. So that's kind of like where that started. And then I started auditioning, but then I started interning at record labels because of my school. And I just realized like, oh, like you can do this independently. Like I had never had that concept because I feel like around that time it was still kind of fairly new. It was not something a lot of people did.
Mm-hmm.
Like dream was to get signed by a major label. And then from there I just started that journey. I was just like, you know what? I just want to perform. I want to make songs. I'm just going to do it. Like I'm not going to wait around for someone to like discover me or see me. So I was just like putting up covers online. I started writing my own songs, writing with other people. And then luckily, this producer, Janzi Delgado, he came into my life and he helped. Well, no, he helped. He produced my first EP Montage. And so that's kind of where the journey really began. And then from there, as the years go on, you learn more and more till I want to say like the end of 2017, 2018, I started my own label, Norwood Entertainment, because I was just like, wait a second, I'm funding all my stuff, I'm putting in the work, I want to go on tour, I'm doing all these things, like let me get my stuff together. And so that's how Norwood Entertainment started. And I put out True Colors, MVI since then. My other two EPs, True Colors, came out last year and gone on tour twice. So it's been a long journey, a tough one too, but it's been very rewarding because I don't think I wouldn't have been able to learn as much as I did any other way.
Mhm.
And so to where now I'm like, okay, like I'm definitely open to partnering up with a label or an investor or anything of the sort, you know, if that's what God has for me. But definitely, you know, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy with the journey and just excited to see what else is to come, you know, based on what I've been able to do on my own.
Yeah, because I love your EPs. You know this because we
Yeah.
private talks. We've had talks about it. She knows what I'm talking about because she knows
Yeah.
from hers. Take it slow.
Yeah. It's so funny because that's to this day, like that's one of those songs that even when I rehearse it with my band, we're like that one in Harlem. Like there's a few that is just like, yo,
That's a good
that that's like signature. So
one. And
I like love that. Oh, Fire?
mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Fire is one of the funnest songs I've ever done. And that's like what I do love about my True Colors EP. Like I really came through with like, okay, we're tired of crying now.
Have some
Let's get
fun.
into the fun. So more fun music is to come too.
If you brought that up, but we brought up the EPs and everything. Let's go into the latest single you got called Tidal Wave. What was the inspiration behind that song?
So that song I actually worked on with Chandra Rhyme. You guys can follow her. She actually wrote that song. It's funny because the first session I met her and had with her, I went out to Pittsburgh because the duo that produced it, they're out there. So I went on a trip out there, and you know they just were playing songs for me. Like we were creating ideas from scratch, and that was one of the ideas they played for me. And she had already written. And I was like, oh my God, you know, and as I was talking more with her, I was just like, I'm actually going through this situation. She was like, I was too. That's why I wrote it. So like, what did I do? Maybe change a few words because there are just certain songs. And that's the thing, like I've learned over the years as well. Like I'm a songwriter, so my first instinct is gonna be like, oh, I want to adjust something here, adjust something there. But
Mm-hmm.
that was one of those songs that I was just like, I don't have to touch. Like it was just so perfect. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was like, but I just put a little sprinkle. And so
And the video's cool, by the way.
it what?
The music video for it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that
I,
was oh
I
my God.
saw it the other day.
That acoustic video we did for it, that was on the roof of my building. That was that quarantine creation.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. Yes.
wow.
Shout out to Jupiter Dubois who helped put that together, helped me bring that vision to life, and Leo Freire,
Mm-hmm.
who always helps me with my acoustic stuff and my ideas for like covers and things of that nature. But with Tidal Wave, that's basically how it came about. It was a bop. It was a fun bop, and it just so
Fun.
happened that her and I,
On Apple, Spotify, all the above. So
yes,
plug right there. Right there.
and it just so happened that her and I were both going through the same thing. So like with with our little love relationships. So it was a really fun time.
Since you're talking about love and relationships, you know, I know the guys are going to ask me this question because a lot of guys were already asking this question. Sorry, they want to know, are you single?
I am so single. It's ridiculous.
So that way, all the fellas, y'all want to know if my friend is single. She just said it, so that way you guys will know.
Yes, it's with Corona completely halted all of my plans. Um, you know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
You know how that goes. Okay.
Now, as far as now, since we went into relationships, let's go into. So she brought up music and everything. Who are your inspirations, musical wise?
Wow, there's so many, but just always like my top Mariah Carey for sure. Selena, Quintanilla, Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
I love Whitney. I love Michael. I love Prince. I love Rihanna. I love Beyonce. I love Maya. Oh, and Maya,
I love Maya.
she's a super inspiration right now because she's been an independent artist for so many years, been able to be so successful, like really like putting in that work, and it's just so inspiring. Like, whew, there's so many. I have a lot. I love Kehlani. There's so many. But those are a few.
Because I was shocked you did Como Le Flor from Selena. A lot of people don't know that song unless they really hear the song.
Yes. I had to cover that one because that was one of those that when I was little, I was performing it. When she would come up on Univision on any of the shows performing, especially Sábado Gigante, like I was in there.
Oh.
I was in there. I would get my little shoes like, oh, I gotta get ready to perform. Like I thought it was for me too. Yeah.
But since you do a lot of stuff with the singing songwriter, have you ever thought about going to acting and maybe like fashion? Because you
Of
have a great.
course. Of course, you know I love the fashion. Of course, and definitely like I've just coincidentally, like I've always been around. I had a lot of friends that were in the modeling industry. And my grandmother, she's an actress. Like ultimately that's what she ended up doing and that was her lane. So that's something definitely that I'm open to. Like I've always, you know, submitted my auditions here and there. So, you know,
You
hopefully
know
more.
what? Or secret model Jasmine Shooks. That's my cousin.
Hey, really?
That's my cousin. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that is so dope. But yeah, I'm open to all of those types of opportunities. I've never been the type to like be like, oh, it could only be this type of music or music only or this type of thing. I'm always like, as long as it makes sense, let's do it.
Now, since you say you could create and everything, if you had your dream collaborations of who work on the album and producer wise and singer wise to appear on, like, let's say for instance with producer wise, who would be your dream producer you want to produce your album with you? And who would be the dream artist you want to be on, like you're on your, like on the first, like a debut album?
Wow. Okay. So I have two. On the just for those Latin sounds, I would have to say Looney Tunes. He's a legendary Latin reggaeton urban producer, so him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pharrell. I actually met Pharrell years ago now, because my then manager Lauren and good friend to this day, she had done a contest that he set up on Instagram. Basically, he invited her to like chill with him and his crew for the day, and she brought me along, and like he gave a lot of great advice and just that sound, like that's so nostalgic. Not even just nostalgic, but it's just so distinctive. His production, like you know when it's a Pharrell track.
Of
And
course.
like you remember that song with Mariah Carey, "Say Something" from her album?
I love that. Songs off of
If I could get a whole album of like, you know, those kind of vibes, like a very like a sexy, sultry, soulful pop album, like that would be so lit. And then as far as like vocal collaborations, I need a song with Rihanna. I need a song with her. I love her. She's like my sister in my head. And who else? Rihanna. I guess like that's the main one I have in my brain. But like I'm a huge fan. Like I love ASAP Rocky. Like there's so many different rappers that I listen
Yeah,
to.
it don't have to be R&B or hip hop. It could be
Mulatto. I would love a song with her. Sweetie. I was just listening to her actually while I was getting ready. There's so many different people. Like I like Queen Naija too. I would love to do like a dope like R&B track, like some like really like crossover situation with the Latin and R&B. Like that would be so cool.
That'd be interesting right there. I would love to see that.
Yeah. So, you know.
Now, you got a question say, who would you want to act with? I want to know this question. That's a good question.
Act with. Oh shoot. It would have to be like a classic, like boss, legendary actress, because I want to learn too. Like I want that mentorship kind of energy. I'm gonna say actually Angela Bassett or Meryl Streep.
Those would be good ones for you right there.
Like
got everybody love saying, "Hey Issa." You got the real MP23 saying, "Hey Issa."
Hey. Like definitely like a dramedy type of situation. That would be so dope. Like I would love that. Where it's not like too, it's it's a drama, but we're not here to like,
not doing too
off bridges.
Yeah. We got you on that right there.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. Hey Charmel, I see you on here. No, it's so many things. A lot of people don't know we've known each other for a bit because she's been one of my biggest supporters. I've been one of her biggest supporters. So that way you guys will know Issa and I, when you hear this conversation, this is just friends.
Yeah.
Busy lately, even with the whole COVID-19 going on. We try to hit each other up as best as we can. So it'd be hard for us because she be busy, I be busy. But we make it work. We made it work, didn't we?
We did. And I was just so excited. I was like, wait, we haven't done a live. Like, we got to do a live. And y'all, he has been supporting me since the very beginning. Because let me tell you, I went through a huge transition from my first EP to my second EP. Like, I had to go through so many obstacles, so many delays. Mm-hmm. So, like, to see that kind of support after it finally got out, and you were one of the first people to cover it, like, that really touched my heart. Like, I never, like, no one ever did, like, a video coverage of any kind of music and giving, like, commentary. I was just like, oh my goodness, like, because, you know, I watched the Scorpion show or, like, For It's Rock, so, like, you know, they do a lot of commentary channels.
Oh, yes.
So I was just like, this is so cool.
How I found about you, just so way you would know this, because I know we never really talked about this. I found about you from the site You Know I Got Soul.
Wow. I love them. Shout out to the You Know I Got Soul team. Shout out to Tom.
I love them. And you know, you got one of my followers, Shay, says, wait, she looks like she's 17. I'm not gonna go there by her age right there, because I know her age, but I don't ask her all that.
I'm 17. Yeah. I'm still in high school.
We gonna leave it like that.
Yes.
Let's say the real MP 23 says she was on a billboard with me. Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Shout out to my cousin, because that is my cousin. Okay. Model extraordinaire over here. Everyone follow him. And yes, like, some of my first, like, modeling opportunities, it was because of him and one of our uncles, and, you know, family, helping out family. Like, that's one thing, like, I mentioned it earlier when we started the live, that, you know, I'm very blessed to have a lot of family members that are super talented, that even if they aren't in entertainment themselves, they support it a lot. Like, very grateful for that, because I know some people, you don't always get that kind of support. That's from true. Nucleus, so I feel very blessed and grateful for that.
Yeah, because that's what made me do the KTookes spot, because I was doing it because I kept seeing everybody talk about the same person over. Well, not really the same person, but the same artist over and over. And I say, you know what? Why not dab into what I like and what sounds good and what's actually standing out that people don't really talk about?
No, it's true. You cover so many dope art. Like, I've definitely discovered a lot of new music through you. Just, like, going into, like, the interviews, the videos, the links. Like, I love it.
Yeah, because really, if all you guys want to be honest, East and I, we've been talking about doing this for the longest, but it wasn't the right time before, but we made it work, and I thought about her, and I was on one of her lives, and she said, oh, I'm down. Yeah. Because Issa thought I was being funny, you guys. She thought I was serious about it, but she see how serious I am with this.
No, he was. I was just like, oh, yeah. So he was like, so when do you want to schedule? I was like, okay, next week, let's go.
That's how it was. We scheduled this last week, and look what happened. Look at God.
Make it happen.
Exactly. Now, since we've gone into all the above with, you know, the singing, sorry, where do you see yourself currently, like, in the future? Like, after you come out with the next project, what do you want to see yourself doing outside of music?
Definitely clothing line, perfumes, makeup. I would love to have a line with MAC, like Viva Glam vibes. Definitely world. Like, just really on that next level, God willing. And, you know, and we will be on live again. Period.
And for the record, you guys, you haven't talked about it, but I'm gonna put it out there. In my vision, in mind, we will do another interview soon. We don't know when, but we will give you another one soon, so that way you guys won't be wondering.
Yes. So definitely in, like, the near future, a lot of progress, next level progress, and
exactly.
You know,
we go up there.
Hell yeah, and that's why, like, even with everything going on with COVID, like, my friends and I were actually talking about this the other day. Like, you know what? Despite everything that's gone on in the world, you know, we've been safe. Our families have been safe. Our families have been healthy. So let's be grateful for that and act accordingly, organize ourselves, organize our finances, our plans, you know, our shorter term goals that lead us to the longer term goals, and let's get it together. And then when the time comes to, like, you know, move things along, we can get it going. And also just to inspire other people. Like, I know, like, the world seems it is super crazy right now. Like, that's just fact. But, you know, count the blessings, because there still are blessings. So many people didn't make it through this year. A lot of people, you know, around me through acquaintances and things like that have passed on. We've lost
here.
big icons. Like, oh my goodness, it's crazy. Like, Kobe is not here. Like, that was a shock. I didn't even go out the weekend that happened.
That really took a shock out of me.
You know, and so much has gone on, and obviously, like, we're in the middle, kind of low key, of a race war right now in the country. Like, there's issues with police all over the world, and SARS, all of that. Like, it's a lot going on. So now is the time to really anchor in faith and really just be grateful for what we do have, and just, you know, get focused, get the energy back up again.
Exactly. Now, if you can describe yourself in, you know, in a few words, what would it be?
I am confident. I can stand strong in my confidence. Finally, it's been a long road. I would say a part of me is ethereal, because I love everything to do with, like, you know, keeping your vibes up and spirituality and learning about myself and who I am and just where I come from and all the things that have to do with that. Definitely hardworking. I mean, it will take a lot to knock me down, and even then, I will get up bloody and all messed up, and I will still try again. I would say spontaneous. I'm definitely the type of person that likes to just, like, do things, like, randomly, like, oh, let's do this, or, like, I'll hit up a friend, like, hey, you want to do this real quick? Okay, I'll pick you up. Boom, let's go. So I'm a personality, just kind of out there. I'm out there in a fun way, not in a crazy way, in a funny way. I'm goofy.
No, that's good. Now, to coincide with that, what I was actually about describing yourself, what is an ideal day for Isa when she's not doing no music and just a day off?
Oh my goodness, I love to sleep. Y'all, I sleep so, like, when I have days off, I knock out for hours. So, but then after I knock out, though, facial, massage, I always have my café con leche in the morning and just chilling. A stroll by the beach. Now, if it's totally ideal, I would love a stroll on the beach just to, like, lay out and have a nap on the beach. Naps on the beach are the best. In the Caribbean, the best. And the sun is just warming you up. I love that feeling. And just very, like, decompressed. I'm not the type of person that likes to, like, do too much and be out and constantly running when I'm, you know, have my days off, or, like, be in a club or whatever. I love to be pampered, but in a way that's very just chill. So give me a beach resort. Give me a massage on the beach and let me take a nap. Give me my drinks. Yeah.
I can hang out with you. I can hang around. Alrighty. Now we're gonna finish off this interview because I know Isa's got to go and I got to go too. But to close things off, do you have any websites or anything you want to promote, social media that you would like everybody to follow you, all the above with?
Yes, follow me everywhere. And my name and my username, sorry, is I am Isa Marina, just like you see right here on Instagram, at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I am Isa Marina, and definitely listen to my new single Tidal Wave out right now. Watch the acoustic video. It's in my link tree if you go on my Instagram page, and you can also search Isa Marina Tidal Wave. So get on that, and there's more new music to come, more surprises, more covers. So yeah.
And you guys can follow me if you haven't already, because I know it's Isa's fans, my fans, at KTookes. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and you just follow me in my YouTube. I have Isa on my feature chat. That way you'll easily find her quickly.
Yes.
I don't think Isa knows. She knows it now. You want to subscribe to Isa on channel, so that way you guys can follow. You can subscribe to me, subscribe to her, and you push the bell icon for her channel and my channel, so that way you got IP access to every time she drops videos, I drop videos. And if you miss anybody that just came on here, and if you missed this interview right here, I will put it on, it will be on IGTV and it will be on YouTube. And I'll send you the link, Isa, after this is finished.
Thank you.
That way, you can have it that way. If you have any websites you want to put it on, you're welcome to do that.
Oh, thank you.
And it was a pleasure. I'm so glad you said yes to this because
Thank you, my love.
happy she actually was like, yeah, I'm down for it. She didn't say, yes, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all we have to say. So you want to do any last shout outs, closing, or anything like that? Wishing to shout out anybody before we end this?
Definitely want to shout out my supporters. You guys have been amazing, even throughout quarantine and even through having a couple of months not putting out new music. You guys always support me. I love you. Thank you, Kenneth. I really appreciate you. You are everything. So thank you for having me. I love y'all. Mwah.
Bye.